Help me, Robert the Bruce. You are my only hope.
What's up, Yes Gamers? Robert the Bruce here, talking about how to use the SE14C. Now, this little baby can totally dominate as long as you're using it correctly. If you haven't tried it yet or used it some but didn't have good success with it, then this video is definitely for you. Now, the SE14C is a 5-round burst blaster pistol. It's built for close range, and that's obviously where it shines. It doesn't mean it's completely confined to close range only, though. We'll talk more on that later. To get your mindset in the right place, you've got to think about what types of situations this weapon will have the upper hand, and then manipulate each battle to give yourself the advantage. Let's look a little bit more about what that means. As blaster goes with hip firing the way biscuits go with gravy, and I love me some biscuits and gravy. You can maintain really nice accuracy all the way out to medium range pretty well while firing from the hip. Now, because it's a burst fire weapon, in between each burst, the bullet spread will drop back down some. Now, how much it drops depends on how quickly you're burst firing, but regardless, it does it very well. This is a hit and run weapon. You're trying to bring most battles in a bit closer, mid-range or less. You can hip fire, which allows you to strafe, jump, and use the jetpack to really stay nimble. Now, most enemies will be ADSing while they're firing at you, so they can't move a whole lot. This means more of your shots are hitting, and you're moving a lot, causing them to miss. That's the way you want to play with the SE14C. And speaking of jetpacks, it is a perfect pairing with this gun. It allows you to blast into groups of enemies to unleash the close quarter potential of this weapon, or it allows you to get away when needed. Now, this weapon isn't made for long range. If someone's popping shots at you with an E11 or an EE3 or something, they're far enough away that you're at a big disadvantage. Now, that's when you use a jetpack to either close the gap towards them or get away to safety and regroup. Now, if you don't have the scout trait yet, but you want to use the SE14C, I highly recommend you pick it up. Level 1 of the scout perk means you don't show up on enemy radar while sprinting. This is huge because you need to be sprinting and moving an awful lot with this weapon. Keep the enemy guessing by always moving, sprinting when possible, and jetpacking around when it fits the situation. If you have the scout trait equipped, they'll always be guessing where you're at. Now, if you want to get real crazy and round out the setup with one of my absolutely favorite overall classes, toss in the Scan Pulse 2. Now you're running around enemies, dropping them super fast with hip fire while staying on the go, jetpacking to safety when you start to get overwhelmed, then you hit the Scan Pulse and you know right when that enemy is rounding the corner coming after you. Opens you up for some absolutely epic kill streaks. I definitely recommend trying that whole setup out. Now, if I see an enemy at range who's under fire, maybe he's wounded, sometimes I'll send a few bursts that way. But for the most part, I try and keep things up close. Stay mobile, rely on this weapon's hip-fire ability and mobility, instead of trying to rely on its power. You'll do some serious work. If you've had some class setups with this gun, definitely let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.